Let's talk about unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Janell Jones. I help women heal, identify their purpose, and walk boldly in their God-given gifts. So why are we talking about unshakable confidence? So let's dive into what unshakable confidence is. Now, you know me, I love the anatomy of words. I understand that we probably know what unshakable and confidence means, but we're going to break it all the way down, okay? So when I look up unshakable means not possible to weaken or to get rid of. And yes, I am looking at my notes. So let me read that again. Not possible to weaken or to get rid of. Okay, now what does confidence mean? Confidence by definition means the feeling or the belief that one can rely on someone or something. Let me rewind that. The feeling or belief that someone can rely on someone or something. Woo! When I think about that, I think about how many people do not have confidence in other people or things because we have spent a lot of our lives distrusting, right? Now, I ain't going to get off the subject and get off somewhere else, but listen, some of us have not relied or been able to rely on anyone. And it's even hard to rely on ourselves. And then we really don't rely on God, because how can we not trust God who we can't see when we don't trust the people who we can see? But that's a whole nother subject, y'all. I don't want to dig deep right now into that. We're going to get into this unshakable confidence and what that means for you, okay? Now, for me, if I was going to combine the definitions and say, here's what unshakable confidence mean, it would mean that it's a confidence is not possible to weaken the belief that you can rely on yourself. Rewind. It is not possible to weaken the belief that you can rely on yourself. Now, I know some of you are like, what? Unshakable means that you, without a shadow of a doubt, can trust in yourself. Doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect, so etch that out of your mind. But it does mean that you can trust yourself. And again, a lot of us are struggling with just trust in general. But let's talk about this more, because if you're thinking about, okay, you're talking about trust, Janell, but you know what? I'm going to be real with you. I can't even tell you the last time I trusted someone. Or I can be real with you, Janell. I didn't even realize that I had an issue with trust until now. And I want y'all to take a moment and examine your heart. Where are you with trust? You know, if we've been through a lot of trauma and disappointments, and I know I've been talking about that a lot, it does become challenging to trust other people, especially if that trauma happened to us when we were children. When we're children, we're typically with people who we think are going to protect us and trust us, and when they do not, it completely breaks our trust. So assess your heart. Where are you in the trust factor? This is a good one when it comes to having a relationship with God. I hear a lot of people, they're screaming the faith walk, and they're saying that, you know, they love God and they have all this stuff, but then when it comes to taking action, they're not walking in faith. They're trying to figure it out themselves. Your girl been guilty, so I get it. But really think about that. Take a moment and pause this video if you have to and think, okay, do I have trust issues? Is there someone in my life, including myself, that I can fully 100% trust? Now, I don't mean that you are going to be 100% on them, because they're human, so they're going to make human errors. But what I do mean is that you know that you're able to rely on them. That's what I'm talking about. So think about that. Let's talk about more. Where does it really come from? So if I was to dig deep, and if I was a surgeon and I'm doing open heart procedures, and I was able to look into your heart to see what's happening, what would I see? What dots do I connect to determine this is why you act this way? That's what I want you to think about and really process, okay? So where does confidence weakening come from? I'm glad that you asked. Again, it's normally coming from an experience, and this experience can include a person, a place, or a thing. It can include a venture. You're starting a business. I know I really talked about that last week about feeling like you're failing if you divorce or start a business or whatever, right? So it comes from something happening to us. And it doesn't mean it's something tragic or, major or blown out of proportion. It could simply mean that somebody did something to us inadvertently, right? Somebody did something to us. They didn't mean to do it. And I don't mean anything illegal or explicit or inappropriate. I'm just meaning they did something to you that didn't rub you the right way. Like, let's say you was doing a talent show in the 5th grade. So you up there and everybody told you and your family that you can dance and things like that. So you like, I got the moves, you doing all this stuff in a talent show. You get up there, you doing your moves, you're confident. But then afterwards, you had a couple people come up to you and say, girl or guy, you need to learn how to dance. Then immediately your confidence is shot. You don't want to get back on the stage. You ain't practicing no dance move because you thought you was super sweet. Now you like, wait a minute. Does that make sense? So that created a belief in you to make you feel like you don't have confidence in yourself. You cannot trust yourself because what you told yourself was you can dance. But then these 2 people over here said otherwise. So now you don't even trust in your abilities, right? So that is kind of where it comes from. And I'm going to break it down even further to give you more insight of where this weakened confidence come from that is killing you, not killing you, but killing your vision and your purpose, okay? So, trauma and abuse. I kind of talked about that. I'm hitting hard with trauma and abuse. I'm telling you right now, I am coming out with a bat. Boom, swinging. And the reason why I'm coming out with a bat when it comes to, just any type of past disappointments, trauma, pains, all those things, because I know those are the things that is stopping us from fully walking in our purpose. They're holding us back. They created these beliefs that make us think we're not good enough. And now we're feeling stuck. In all reality, we just have to switch what we're thinking and get some healing from those things, right? So this is why I'm swinging the bat. I'm coming hard because we need to be healed. Okay? Negative relationships. If you were in a bad relationship, let's say you were in a relationship with someone who was very negative to you, and you did everything you could to make the relationship work, or, try to make this person happy. But this person constantly looked down at you and said negative things to you. Those negative things made you feel like you were not enough. They made you feel like that nothing you could do was right. You shrunk in that relationship, and now you're afraid to do the things you need to do to stand up. Okay? Also, harsh self-criticism. You're very hard on yourself. You can't do nothing. Like, you're so hard on yourself. Like, as soon as you step outside, have you ever been seeing these like TikTok videos and Instagram videos where people, as soon as they step outside, like the shopping racks come up and with the cost, like they step outside and, Target comes up and then they spent $300. And the whole premises of it is to say, every time I step outside, I'm spending money. That's how you are with your trust with yourself, or the criticism with yourself. It's so bad that every time you open your mouth, you're saying something negative about yourself. Somebody come up to you and, girl, you look good. And you've been hitting the gym, you just slimmed down a little bit. You've been putting in the work. You've been doing the work. That's the thing. You've been doing the work. And then somebody comes up to you and that old mindset wants to rev up and be like, well, see, what had happened was when I was in high school, I actually weighed this amount, then I have 3 kids, and then this happened, and then I got this, and then I got on these drugs, and then this happened. I just blew up after that. No, just say thank you. So how are you perceiving yourself when it comes to confidence, okay? Comparing yourself with others. This is a big one. I'll always say comparison and action are the 2 things you're going to hear me say often. So if I compare myself, let's say I'm Janell and I have a friend named Lisa. Actually, let me give you a real life example, okay? Recently, I'll say ish because it's been like 5 months. Recently, I applied to get my business certifications, like the minority business, the women-owned business, and all those things, right? And listen, Linda, I'm applying to get this, and I applied like a long time ago. And the people who were supposed to help me were supposed to respond within 72 hours. I never heard anything. I reached back out. I still didn't hear anything. I reached out again. I was hearing things like, yeah, we're looking, we're busy, but I wasn't getting any direction. I just finally was like, you know what? I'm just about to submit this to the right person because they were a stepping stone to get me to where I was supposed to be, to make sure you have everything so that your ability to get denied was slim. It went on for months. Months, like October until recently, right? It went on for months. And I had a very good friend of mine who went through the same process. And I actually didn't even know she was going through the process until she posted on her Facebook status that she got the certification. And so I reached out to her and I was just like, oh my God, I've been trying to do this and it's slow. And bless her heart, she is so helpful. Like when I tell you she's so resourceful, it is out of this world. She gave me someone's number and I contacted a person and we kind of had a conversation. And what I noticed though, I'm like, really, God? For real, why is this process? Because it ended up being more loops and I had to submit more paperwork, yada, yada, yada. And God said, see, I had to teach you not to quit. This was the lesson for you. Because when I say your girl wanted to tap out, your girl wanted to tap all the way out. And if it wasn't for my friends and God, I would have been like, deuces, I don't want to do this. I wanted to give up and tap out because it was so strenuous. I felt like I honestly was applying for 3 mortgages. That's how much paperwork was involved. I mean, they wanted to know everything. Everything. It was just so much involved. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, one time I submitted everything and it took me probably 4 hours. When I tell you my mind, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't work out after that. My mind was so exhausted. I'm not exaggerating. I was like, this is stupid. I'm like, I don't feel like submitting anything. And so I kept pushing. And God said, the reason why your experience was different from her experience, because again, I need to teach you not to give up when you face challenges. When you feel like things are hard and when you feel overwhelmed, you tend to just want to tap out. Like you always want to take the easy road. Now, I'm an executor, I'll work. But when I hit them hard bumps, I'm like, all right, God, listen now. I done been through enough stuff. I don't want to do that. And he said, and I had to teach you to keep going. Despite the obstacles and the feeling of overwhelm, you have to keep going. I was like, oh, okay, right? And I'm saying that because I couldn't compare myself to her experience or to her in general because there was something that God was trying to teach me. So when you're trying to compare yourself to other people, this is what happens. You get so distracted and distraught that you don't even understand what God is doing to build a character in you. And he was building in me the ability to keep going even though it felt very challenging. All right, now listen, drop a comment below because that was a testimony right there. If I was in a church, I would have stood up and got the mic and gave my testimony because that was a testimony right there. Don't give up when the challenge is hard. You keep moving, okay? Unrealistic expectations of yourselves is another way to actually have the broken faith. The broken confidence, judgment of other people. Listen, judgment will kick your butt. You see somebody doing something and automatically you're judging them for something that they're doing. And a lot of times you don't even know the backstory of what they're doing and how they got to where they are. But you see them and you see they're doing good. You see their work and you're judging them for it. And really it's an insecurity on the inside of you. That's what it really boils down to. Okay, lacking of self-assurance, so not being confident of yourself, grieving a significant loss. Like how is unshakable confidence grieving a significant loss? This happens because when something is taken away, whenever we're dealing with a loss, it's a severed tie. When something is taken away from us, sometimes our identity is tied in those things. When our identity is tied into something that is separated, we begin to question who we are. Thus meaning we question our confidence. Okay? Those are just a few. I mean, it's a lot. Setbacks and disappointments. All these things really just stop us from moving forward and not having that unshakable faith. Or unshakable confidence. When I talk about unshakable confidence and we look at why it's needed, let's really look at, okay, why do I need unshakable confidence, especially when it comes to my purpose? And if you're looking at your purpose, you are an individual. God created you specifically for a reason. Whatever that is, go talk to God about that. But whatever reason why you're here, you are needed and you are created to help other people, right? Now, when we don't have that unshakable confidence, meaning, again, we're not breakable, right? That unshakable confidence is putting us in a position where nothing is moving us. Does that make sense? Nothing is moving or breaking our confidence, okay? Because we're going to keep moving and doing it despite everything else. So what does it mean when we have that? What does that look like if I did have unshakable confidence? Well, it allows you to take bold, decisive actions. Does that listen, you ain't moving like mama and them. Not to get your mama, but you moving in a different way. Boldly. Decisive. You're not sitting there second guessing. Should I? You ain't playing double dutch. Should I do this? Should I jump in? Is it time? Let me look under there. Make sure the girl ain't double-handed. That's not what that is. Is you know that you know that you know. That is what we talk about when we're talking about the bold, concisive action. Okay? Also, you're able to handle the setbacks that come. I guarantee you 100%. You know how you go to different courses or products and services and they say 100% guarantee. I 100% guarantee you that when you begin to build your unshakable confidence, that you're going to face some setbacks. That is such as life. Why is that? What is going on? And some of us, when we face these setbacks, we automatically assume that this is not for us. Like I just shared with you, God wasn't telling me that this is not for me. God was telling me to push through and not give up on difficult challenges. You got to make sure you're listening clearly. Some people will be like, oh, if it's that hard, girl, you need to tap out. In fact, I thought that about 20 times during this process, right? And I get why they're saying that, because sometimes we feel like things are supposed to work smoothly. But sometimes you need to fight for it. Not because you are lacking or undeserving, because there's a character piece in you that still needs to be developed. For me, it was pushing through despite how I was feeling or facing the challenge of it. So you still have to push through, okay? So you really have to you have to look at it like, I'm facing setbacks, which lead me to the next one, getting down to your why. Why are you doing this? What are you believing in yourself? What's your goal with this? Does that make sense? So if I know my why, I don't care what's happening. I'm going to still push forward because I know this is what I'm supposed to do. That unshakable confidence. It ain't moving you. You get on a boat, you're moving and stuff like that. It ain't moving you. The unshakable confidence ain't moving you. You ain't getting seasick. Does that make sense? You're prepared. It is not moving you. So you have to look at it from that perspective. It is not moving me. Now, does it mean that you're not going to have moments? Absolutely. You're going to have moments. Because there's some things that needs to be developed. But in those moments, your unshakable confidence, meaning trusting yourself, you're not bending, you're not moving, you're not breaking. You got to keep it moving, okay? The next thing, it attracts the right opportunity and the right people. When you have unshakable confidence, you'll be in room and places where people are so attracted. Think about it. Think about somebody that you know that when they walk in the room, they walk in their presence is felt. A lot of time that person has unshakable confidence. And it doesn't mean that they're conceited. It just means that they know who they are. Does that make sense? You walk in a room, let's just say you walk in a room and you got someone that's doing the same thing you're doing, business-wise. This person with the unshakable confidence, it's like, hey, oh my God, what's up? How you doing? They're greeting you. They're having a community with you. They're networking with you. They're not leaving you out. Oh, she doing that too. Let me stay away from her. They ain't doing none of that. I just recently saw Beyonce. I think she is the founder of a new hairline, I believe. A new founder of a new hairline. And I saw somebody say, listen, she didn't invite Tracy Ellis Ross. She didn't invite Taraji P. Henson. She invited Tia Mowry from Sister. All of them have their own same hair or their hair care line. So they didn't take away anything from her. And because she has unshakable confidence, they were able to come and attend. Does it make sense? And that leads me to my next point, where we get into having the limited negative external factors. So what that means is, the negative things are the negative external factors. So the external factors are things that's happening outside of you. A lot of the confidence is something that is built within. But again, if we don't know who we are, those external things will really trigger us quickly and pull on our identity and make us question who we are, which of course make us question our confidence. But when you have unshakable confidence, especially when it comes to your purpose, that stuff don't pull you like that. You know you have a vision. You know you have a goal. You know you have a purpose and a focus. So you're not pulled by those things anymore. Homeboy who used to, get under you, as soon as you start making some progress, here come this dude. Does it make sense? And that your confidence just drop. Now, it ain't his fault because you let him back in your life. But because he's that type of person, he brings you down. Then you spend 3 to 6 months recovering from him pulling you down. Then you get back up again. You good for 2 months. And then here he come again. And you down. That is a pure case of you not knowing who you are and not having that unshakable confidence. When you have that unshakable confidence, you're very careful who you allow in your inner circle. You're very careful about who you allow in your inner circle. The people in your inner circle are not people who are complaining all the time, nagging about their woes is me. They're not victimizing themselves. These people are not those people. And if you are around those people, you need to reconsider who's in your circle. Because sometimes unshakable confidence is contagious. I think we are all attracted to someone who is confident, not cocky. And I don't mean sexually attracted. I just mean it's like just someone who is truly confident in himself, like LeBron James. You can see it and feel the confidence and be like, man, I love that. He can decide. He take precise action. He know what he wants. He know what he's doing. He got these dreams and goals. Listen, that is someone who takes or has the unshakable confidence. So my friends, I ask you today, what are you going to do for you to get that unshakable confidence? You're going to first have to look at your heart. Look where your trust or mistrust lies. You're going to secondly have to do the work to get you to a space where you are trusting yourself. You can no longer see yourself as a failure or someone unable or incapable of doing something. You have to perceive yourself as a person you choose or want to be. The next thing you're going to do is release all negative beliefs about yourself. Let go of anything or anyone that's tying you to the unhealthy version of yourself. Every day, make sure you're saying something positive to affirm yourself and taking action. I love affirmations. I love vision boards. I love those things. I think they're a great proponent to help you grow. But if you don't believe in the core of who you are, none of that will matter. So you have to reshape the way you think and feel and talk to yourself in order for you to change your belief about yourself. All right. Now listen, you are tuned into Empowerment TV. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Janell. I love helping women be authentic, powerful, and on purpose. Make sure you show up and have that unstoppable confidence. And it's not because nothing to do with your progress or nothing to do with your performance, I should say. But it's everything to do with who God created you. And baby girl or guy, if you're listening, God created you to be the best. So show up and show in your unshakable confidence. I'll talk to you later.